Looking down at my dish, walking into the tasting room, it's definitely not as refined and as delicate as Guillaume's looked, but I know that it's packed full of the sauce. I know that I really took my time with the calamari tagliatelle, but at the same time, I'm really, really scared that this is the last dish I'm going to walk in here.
Gee, you had a bit of a struggle, didn't you?
Sorry.
Guillaume, what did you see when you watched Georgia cook in the kitchen?
Well, firstly, Georgia, I'm breaking my heart seeing you crying about my dish. It wasn't created for that. But what I thought for the 2.5 hours you're under the pressure is, but you just keep going. You know, the custard was wrong, and it just remind me of an athlete who fell over and get up again and try again. And your commitment to the dish was unbelievable. You know, I was watching you, and you keep going and keep going and keep going. And that's credit to you that I'm looking forward to try it. You know, I would just wish you stop crying.
Yeah, sorry.
I just wish you stop crying.
I'm telling myself to stop and it won't stop. Thank you so much. It was an absolute honour. Thank you.
Guillaume, what do you think?
I find it's a pretty dish. You know, like the sea urchin was cut very nicely. The tapioca is looking good, not wet. The sea spray is fine, but it just looked a little bit flat, you know.
This dish looks like someone's already had a go at it.
First thing that stands out is the sauce, isn't it? You know, it ties it all together. Bags of flavour. Calamari is cooked beautifully.
I think it's delicious. It's been made by a cook. There's someone who tasted. You can tell it's well balanced.
She definitely got to a point where she had to use her own intuition. I mean, running out of the corn for corn custard,
Yep.
she got one up. It's really tasty.
The squid tagliatelle is tender, it's thinly cut, which is great.
You know what, for someone that had lots of issues along the way, and honestly, if you're sitting on the sideline as a spectator,
Yeah.
you'd have been going, oh, she's in trouble, she's gone. She's definitely pulled the cat out of the bag and she's put up a really tasty dish.
She was under a lot of pressure. She did a lot of mistake, but what come out of all her mistake is bloody delicious.
Walking the plate up to the judges, my biggest concerns are the sauce and the squid. With the sauce, I'm worried that there's not enough. I'm just thinking, please let it be enough.
It's do or die today, isn't it? Top 10.
Certainly is.
What's the dream, Stephen?
The dream at this moment in time, George, is to get through this pressure test.
Yeah, and then?
My firm dream is bed and breakfast, food destination. You don't just go for the breakfast, you go for the evening meal as well. Local produce, locally sourced. You know, everything that I want to do is in that.
For a bit of fun, write the menu.
Yeah.
What would you like on there?
The dream is very important, but for your dream to come true, you need to put a plan in place. Write the produce of the season. What vegetable goes in summer, in autumn, in winter. That's a start.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Guillaume, what do you think?
When you first look at it, George, it looked nice, it looked lovely. The sea urchin are very nicely, and we was one of the only one really getting the whole tongue of it. I'm really looking forward to try it.
Kicker for me, it looks pretty as, and those tongues of sea urchin, and that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
in the end,
you want to
it's a sea urchin dish. It looks gorgeous.
Put your fork into
Shall we?
it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Please never ask.
A tough dish, and I think he's done a really good job for an amateur cook.
The cooking of the lobster is good. The squid is a little bit too thick and a little bit, you know. But this is not the dish. There is no sauce in it.
That's the problem. The sauce in your dish ties it all together.
Yeah, and
joins all
and
the...
it's like a stew at the end, you know,
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah. Your dish, Guillaume, was really delicate. And what we've got here is just like lots of seafood jammed into the shell.
For me, this dish is about three things. It's about the texture and the flavour of that custard, which is great. It's about the sea urchin, and we're certainly getting there.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's the sauce, and that, to me, is what's lacking.
Bring everything together.
I've definitely made big mistakes today, missing those urchin tongues, which are a big part of the dish. I'm really worried that it could potentially be me that's going home today.
Well, Amy, we promised you an intense ride. Did we deliver?
Yes, you did. Absolutely. That was very, very intense, very stressful. But I'm stunned at this dish. I think it's amazing. You picked a good one.
Thanks, Amy.
We'll taste now. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amy.
Cheers.
Guillaume, what do you think?
The tapioca is fine, the lobster look lovely. Just missing the sea urchin tongue.
The big thing for me is the visual of the sea urchin tongues. I just think, you know, those popped on the top really reinforce what you're
What we're
eating.
eating, yeah.
And it's not there.
The sauce look okay, actually. Like,
That's made the sauce form the sauce.
Yeah.
That's delicious. In terms of cooking seafood, you know, everything's nicely poached. Lobster's great.
I think the success in here is the fact that she got the custard right. And I actually think the lobster in mine is the nicest out of the bunch in terms of it being cooked. The sea urchin is a big miss, but, you know, some successes too. Well, there's a turn up for the books, isn't it? You never know, do you? You never know during that cook, and at various points, every single one of those three did a great job, and you thought, yeah, they're in the lead and they do it, and I know that they're going home and they're staying, and you end up tasting the dishes and it just throws it all up in the air. I think Stephen gave us a really impressive looking dish, and I love the fact that there were so many of those beautiful little tongues of sea urchin, really delicious.
Yeah, it looked great.
Looked great,
But where's the sauce?
Sauce is a problem. And then at the other end of it, Amy gave us loads of sauce, but no sea urchin at all. What about Georgia? I mean, she made so many mistakes during the cook.
But at the end, I was amazed the way they work and the pressure. You know, like when I'm thinking about it, the sea urchin, the way they cut it, the way they organize themselves, I was very impressed.
Complex, but I think we all know where it's going to go.
Yep.
Let's get them in. Let's talk.